Welcome to Soiree School, a series where I help you plan and host like a professional at home. And today I'm hanging out with one of my favorite bakers, Jenneh from Pelah Kitchen, and she's going to show us her techniques for decorating a cake.
So where we start, it's first with the equipment that you need. A nice sturdy turntable. I don't know the material that you put under a carpet. I take that.
Oh yeah, so it doesn't slip.
I put my cake board on top of this. And then you have your frozen cake layers, mostly because it just like maintains some like moisture. Swiss meringue buttercream, blueberry lavender jam. Always want to have your offset spatulas and some warm water. We first want to put a little bit of buttercream on the base of the board. And then we're gonna fill up our piping bag. If you don't have piping bags at home, you can actually use a Ziploc bag and just snip off the corner. I always kind of cover my hand with the bag this way. Another thing you can do is just put the piping bag in a tall vessel. And that way you're not getting buttercream all over your hands.
Get all that frosting.
Because we're using kind of more of a wet filling, what we're gonna do first is something called like a dam. And that would help just make sure that the filling doesn't ooze outside of the cake. I take a little buttercream and I put a layer down first. If we were just to put the filling directly onto the cake, it can kind of just seep through a little bit and make it like the texture a little soggy. So this is also like a little barrier.
Yes, love it.
It's literally a border. When it comes to cake decorating, the refrigerator is like your friend because it kind of just helps to keep everything
tempered right.
Exactly. At this point, I would pop it into the freezer actually. It's like 5 minutes for it to get a little sturdy. I kind of like to think of my buttercream as like a glue. Do a layer right around. And also this is good because it, you know, you're putting pressure on the cake, so sometimes the filling can come out. Fridge again, just to make sure.
It's set.
Exactly. But now you can do
that first little layer. Just about this much.
Perfect. She's a baker, y'all. And now we're gonna go in with our border.
I appreciate you with the assist.
Filling. And so much of this you could do at home. This is literally from Amazon. Look at you. Okay. At this point, we're gonna do what's called the crumb coat. What's the crumb coat?
It's the one that makes sure that the crumbs don't go into the final layer of
Exactly.
frosting.
Another kind of helpful tool that I usually am always decorating with are acrylic scrapers or a metal bench scraper. We're gonna take the crumb coat and put it in the fridge for like a couple minutes. Crumb coat is done. This is a little trick to get the top actually flat.
Wow.
And people who are bakers watching this probably think this is like blasphemous because you don't want to take clean buttercream and move it into your dirty buttercream.
Don't come for her in the comments.
I love kind of that like on the top, whatever that means. I just make little swooshes. These are actually some edible flowers. They're called nasturtium. You could put it on the perimeter. You could put it on the bottom.
If you are in the New York metro area, you can check out Jenneh's classes, so make sure you're following Pelah Kitchen on Instagram. Her little cake cheers. I knew it was gonna be good.